Hi, my name is Dr. Michael Underwood. I'm an instructor of low brass here at UA Little Rock, and I'd like to talk to you today about one of the jazz etudes from the Arkansas All-State Jazz Etudes, Bird Blues, and specifically measures 42 to 45. And in my last video, I talked about some general things that you can do in your practice, and here what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some ways that you can kind of tackle this etude. So first of all, you want to put the metronome on. I have it down at about 60 to the quarter note. And so what I'm going to do first is we've slowed it down quite a bit. We're going to take the swing out of it. And actually, even though it's not too high, it gets a little bit high in the upper edge. It goes up to B. So why don't we take that down the octave? So we're going to try it at 60 to the quarter note. Go. So again, taking out the swing. Okay, so I did that as written that time, but I took it really slow and I took all the swing out of it. That's the way that we can get comfortable with all that. Let me play it down the octave for you so you can hear it. Okay, again, slowing it down, taking out the swing, playing it down the octave, always using the metronome. Huge deal. Now, one thing that I talked about in my last video was called the short longing of a passage. So some of this is pretty okay, some of it is pretty angular. So we're going to start with the pretty angular stuff at 43. And what we're going to do is we're going to short long each of these eighth notes. All right, now we'll play it down the octave as well. Okay, now we're going to turn it around. So we'll start with a fast note. All right? Or sorry, we're going to start with a slow note. Fast note. So you have that as well. So then when you put it together. Now what you're doing is getting control of the piece again through listening, having chops so that you don't crush yourself with the B natural or the G naturals up in the upper register. And we're taking out the swing so you don't have to worry about trying to swing the passage, right? All we're doing is trying to get the right notes. So if you do it at that tempo, then I feel comfortable at 60, so then we go up another 5 clicks. We kind of go do the same thing. Again, we're not taking it up the octave yet. We're just kind of getting the feel for it right now. So we're going to start at 43. So if you can feel comfortable like that, like how I just did that, you're ready to keep going up another 5, and another 5, and another 5. Once you get closer to the tempo, then you can start thinking about adding some of the swing back into it. But really the swing in terms of bebop is pretty minimal. Those of you who heard my video on the previous video, I played the opening and I played it close to tempo, and when you play it close to tempo, it's almost straight. So if I play this closer to tempo, I'm going to put this back into half note time. One, two, three. Okay, so that's still not tempo, but now it's pretty close to the the tempo, and so now we can kind of experiment with putting the swing back in it at that point. And notice that there's not a lot of over swinging. A lot of this bebop etude just kind of swings itself. So in conclusion, when you are working on a passage, specifically something like this in measures 42 to 45, you want to slow it down, you want to take out the swing, you want to play it down the octave, and use the metronome at all times so that you feel absolutely comfortable with the passage. And then the other thing is if you still feel uncomfortable, you can do what's called a short longing technique. And what that does is it highlights each fast move on the slide, and that way you're not overloading your sensors in terms of how to play through this particular passage. Thanks for listening, and I'm going to do one more, so stay tuned for my next video.